Hello to all. I am Dr. B.K. Deshpande, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Cambridge Institute of Technology, Kyarpuram, Bengaluru. Today's topic is priority scheduling algorithm. What does it mean? Priority is nothing but we are supposed to consider the priority. Okay, priority related with process. And the mode in which we are supposed to consider for this algorithm is preemptive. What do you mean by preemptive? Preemptive is nothing but when the process is going to be executed or already it is in the running queue, or the process which is associated with the CPU right now is being executed can be taken out, can be preempted because of the priority of the other processes. Okay, we need to consider this. And as far as our problem in the table is concerned, the given data is higher the number, higher the priority. That means, what do you mean by that? So that you can see here, process number 1 10 priority, process number 2 20 priority, process number 3 30 priority, and process number 4 40 priority. That means as far as the given data is concerned, higher the number, higher the priority. So that as far as this table is concerned, this column is concerned, 40 is the higher the priority compared to other processes. Okay, in this kind of problem they mention in the examination, correct, higher the number, higher the priority, or they may also mention lower the number or lower the priority, my dear students. So one more thing you need to understand, okay, when it considering the Gantt chart for this priority scheduling algorithm, always the CPU, this is the representation of the process belong to the CPU, right? Always it starts with 0 seconds, and this the time is going to increase all the time. Okay, now you come back to the table. What is the given data? Okay, in the first column process numbers are mentioned, in the second column priorities of the corresponding processes are given, and arrival time as well as burst time are also mentioned accordingly, right? We need to find out the completion time, turnaround time, and waiting time of the each processes. Later on we need to find out average turnaround time and average waiting time. Now let us start solving this problem, correct? So as far as the given data, once again I will just try to emphasize, higher the number, higher the priority. Now you consider this process number, priority is 40, obviously I have to consider this priority, but here you need to compare, arrival time of this process is at 4 seconds, correct? Now that means very important, compare other process which basically comes at 0th seconds, that is 0th arrival time. Okay, as far as our Gantt chart is concerned, the CPU representation of the Gantt chart always starts with 0 seconds. At 0 seconds, what are the processes? Okay, anyway our assumption is our given data is higher the number, higher the priority, but when it comes to arrival time, always irrespective of the scheduling algorithm, always you have to see the arrival time, very important. If the arrival time of the particular process is 0, then you have to schedule it, okay, for 1 second. Okay, now you can schedule this P1 for 1 second. Okay, that means how much is remaining? 5 minus 1, 5 minus 1, 4 is remaining. Now you have to implement the preemptive scheduling algorithm. Okay, preemptive mechanism or priority scheduling of preemptive. Now here you can see I have only scheduled P1 for 1 second. Now you are supposed to implement this algorithm. Now what is the given data? Higher the number, higher the priority, because I have only scheduled P1 for 1 second. Correct? Now at 1 second, is there any processes which are arriving? You have to check it up. Yes. Now you have to check it up in the second row of the table. Okay, process 2 arrival time is 1. It is arriving at 1 second. That means what? And also you have to see the priority. This is the 20. Again, higher the number, higher the priority. Right now, the process 1 is in the running queue. Okay, it can be brought. Okay, this particular process P2 has to be brought, and its priority is 20. It is more than process 1. Okay, process 2's priority is more than process 1. Obviously, what we have to do? You have to schedule this P2 process for 1 second. 1 plus 1, 2 it will come. Okay, so that 3 minus 1, 2. Okay, now very important. Then at 2 seconds, again at 2 seconds, is there any process arrives? Yes, P3 process arrives. It's basically priority is 30. Okay, it is more than process 2 and process 1. Obviously, then you have to schedule it P3 for 1 second. 2 plus 1, 3. That means 1 is remaining there. Okay, then at 3 seconds, any processes are arrived? See the arrival time. Okay, no processes are arrived. That means what? P3's priority. Now you can compare it. P3's priority is 30, P2's priority is 20, P1's priority is 10. That means what? P3's priority is more compared to other priorities, because P1, P2 are already in the ready queue. So that you have to execute the same P3 process for next 1 more second. P3, again P3 is going to be executed for 1 more second. 3 plus 1, 4. That means what? 1 minus 1, 0. Right? That means what? P3 got executed. Now again compare it. At 4 seconds, is there any process which arrives? Yes, at 4 seconds P4 is arrived. Its priority is how much? 40. 40 means what? It is more than P1 process, P2 process and P3 process. That means what? P4 is supposed to be given to the CPU for the execution. Okay? 4 plus 1, 5. That means what? 1 minus 1, 0. Again, so that what are the processes are executed so far? Completely P3 and P4 are executed. Now you can compare between P1 and P2. P1's priority is how much? 10. P2's priority is how much? 20. Obviously, so what is the remaining burst time? 2 is the remaining burst time. That means what? P2 directly you can execute for 2 seconds. Anyway, you can write P2 for 1 second and another time P2 for 1 second. Instead of writing 2 times, directly you can. Anyway, the priority of the P2 is more than priority of the P1. Correct? So that 5 plus 2, 7. P2. What is the remaining process right now? This is last process is P1. That means what is the burst time which is remaining? That is 4. That means what? P1 is going to be executed by the CPU. 7 plus 4, 11. Right? In this way we are supposed to find out processes related with priority scheduling, and the condition is preemptive, and also given data we considered here, higher the number, higher the priority, my dear students. In the question they also may ask you to solve this problem when they give lower the number, higher the priority. It all depends on what kind of questions they are going to ask. Suppose here what is going to happen if the priorities of the priority of the two processes are same, correct? No, then you have to consider the arrival time, okay, and the arrival time as well as priorities are also same, then you have to consider the process ID, whichever comes first, then you have to schedule it according to the CPU execution, correct? No, then you have to employ the first come first serve basis, my dear students. Okay, then this is also 0 and this is also 0. Now you can find out completion time. How to find out? From right to left in the Gantt chart. That means P1 is completed at 11 seconds, correct? No, then P2 is completed at 7. Okay, P4 is completed at 5 seconds. P3 is completed at 4 seconds. Okay, now you can compare also from left to right in the Gantt chart. You will come to the same completion time. Okay, turnaround time. Next one is turnaround time. Turnaround time can be found out by CT minus AT, that is completion time minus arrival time. 11 minus 0, 11. 7 minus 1, 7. 7 minus 1, 6 it is. 7 minus 1, 6. 4 minus 2, 2. 5 minus 4, 1. Okay, in this way you have to find out the turnaround time. Waiting time is turnaround time minus burst time. So that here turnaround time is 11 for the process 1. Burst time you have to consider the original burst time of the each process. Okay, you should not get confused that there may be a chance of that you can write the updated or latest burst time. You should not. You have to consider the original burst time of the individual process. 11 minus 5, 6. 6 minus 3, 3. 2 minus 2, 0. 1 minus 1, 0. In this way you have to find out waiting time of the each process. Now what is the next? Average turnaround time equal to, okay, turnaround time. Okay, turnaround time, total turnaround time, that means what? 11 plus 6, 17. 11 plus 6, 17. 17 plus 2, 19. 19 plus 1, 20. 20 divided by number of processes. Number of processes are 4. That means what? Average turnaround time is 5. You have to find out average waiting time. So average waiting time can be found out by adding individual waiting time of the process. 6 plus 3 plus 0 plus 0. That means 9 divided by 4. 4 is the number of processes. That means it comes around 2.2. So this is how we have to solve the problem related with the priority scheduling algorithm. Mode is preemptive. I hope you understood this problem with the solution. Thank you very much, my dear students.